Very cool.
These tracks move transport pods to other levels of this complex.
Let's see if we can get this thing working. You wouldn't build a system like this if you didn't need to move a lot of people, which bodes well for finding something cool at the other end. This must be the transit control room. Looks like people worked here. This looks like a welder's jetpack. This one's been disassembled. No power?
There is no current running to this console. Control will be required to reroute power.
And you defied my wishes to tell the solar system of my return.
I'm just looking for answers, boss.
I am the only answer.
Control? Fine. Where's the electrical access for the room?
To the left of the rear door. But as I said, you will need control to reroute power to the console.
This era of electronics is dead simple. Won't hurt to take a look. This should show the power status of the room's various systems. Well, nothing in the room is on standby.
As I'd said.
I'm gonna have to look at the breakers. My dad worked on older machines for a living. They're not predictable things. They have quirks.
I sense that there is joy in this work for Addie.
Well, I can tell you there is no joy running to any of those breakers.
Sometimes a good whack will knock something into place.
It's worth a try.
Well, there's your problem right there. Someone's removed the entire power relay.
As I told you.
So why can't Control help us? Isn't he programmed to serve humans?
He's more accustomed to tasks like maintaining power grids across entire planets, while I'm very much attuned to the needs of individuals.
What about you, Logic?
I apparently offer wisdom to the wind.
You activated Control and Empathy.
For all the good that did us.
Is there another configuration we can call on?
Grace's core processors contain only these 3 systems.
Can you combine the systems? Take the edge off Control with a little empathy?
I suppose it's possible. But there's no telling what the outcome of something like that would be.
Could it be any worse than Control?
It can always be worse.
It sounds like a wonderful idea, Addie.
You're right. What do I know? Don't blame me if he turns out to be a murderer.
Addie?
Yep, it's me.
Great! What are we doing again?
We're powering up pods.
So, you want to hotwire this thing?
Yes, please.
Alright. Rerouting is good to go. You can meet me at the breaker panel. Go ahead and flip the switches.
You got it, pal.
And I'm Pal?
Sure. We'll call you pal.
Breakers look good. Now you can push the buttons that turn on the different systems. Power's up. I'll let you do the honors. Go ahead. Push the throttle on the console. You'll need to use the throttle to bring down a pod, Addie. You want to ride a pod, don't
Here
you?
we go.
Oh, that's not good. I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought I would have enough power to do this for you. It seems so important for you to ride in a pod.
I think the track is just jammed with ice.
Ice? You'd think I would be able to handle a little ice.
It's okay. Is there, some kind of de-icing system or something?
I don't know.
There is not.
All right, let's look for something to deal with the ice. This one looks to be in working order.
Would it be heavy enough to smash the ice?
Maybe. But I'm more interested in what that welding gun might do to the ice. Alright, pal. Let's try this one on for size.
So, what's it gonna do exactly?
Oh, I think you're gonna like it. This is a welder. See if it still works.
Look at that. A little blue light.
That's not gonna cut it. Are you able to control this?
For you, I could definitely try.
Can you open the fuel throttle to the torch?
Okay. Whoa. I like that. What is it?
That's called an icebreaker, pal. Any idea where the flight controls are?
Someone removed them.
Okay.
I can take control if you like.
You know how to fly this?
Looks pretty easy. Stuff shoots out the back and you get thrown up in the air.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh! It's working! We can fly!
Easy, pal.
Well, where do you want to go?
Alright. If you can move me to the pod, we can have a look at the ice. And, pal, it's super important that you don't cut the engines or move too fast. I don't want to get hurt.
I know, but it's great, isn't it?
Yep. As long as you don't kill me. Alright. This should be close enough.
It's so bright and warm.
Just hold me steady.
This is really hard. Ugh, it's these stupid flames are throwing me around. Ugh,
You may want to ease up, Addie.
I think that's good. Let's have a look at the rest of the track.
you got it. As long as you're not using the fire shooter, flying is pretty easy.
Just keep it up, literally. There's more ice here on the right. Whoa, hold it steady.
Sorry. Ugh.
Short bursts, Addie. He's really struggling.
Let's keep going.
On it.
And this last bit here. Now you've got the hang of it.
This is so cool. It's like the best day of my life.
Well, I'm afraid we're almost done. Think that's it? Do you think you can get me back?
Yeah, I know. You got stuff to do.
That's fun, pal. We make a good team, right?
Yeah, I like the part where we burn the ice while flying.
Me too. Okay, I'm gonna bring down the pod.
So, where are we heading again?
I will be able to obtain structure schematics once we reach the next level.
You think we'll see any dead bodies?
Hope so. Do you know if the pod system has stops along the way?
It does not. We are arriving at the track terminus now.
This looks like a settlement. Can't believe how well preserved it is.
You think people could be alive in there?
You should really consider thinking before you speak. And then consider not speaking.
Logic. As long as life support is functional, it's not entirely impossible that someone's taken up here.
Or they could be zombies.
Well, that settles it. I'll disable PAL now.
Don't you dare. We might need him.
Ooh, more buttons.
You really are unburdened by intellect, aren't you?
What's the pattern here?
It's the Latin zes.
Huh?
And I thought you were getting the hang of these. Very well. You might call it a backwards Z or Z. And you'll need to make it the full width and height of the panel. Just having PAL running in the background is making us all a little stupider. Honestly, do you know what backwards is? Do you know what a Z looks like? If we did switch PAL off, I could always switch him back if we need to burn something. Should we have PAL do this?
There.
I've been thinking about why anyone would want Grace to be shut down. And I wonder if there could have been a flaw in her base programming.
Like what?
Control and empathy programming divert valuable processing power away from cognitive ability.
Which way am I going?
The big colorful doors. As I was saying, empathy interferes with practical decision-making. Control is a 4-year-old.
You are a 4-year-old.
Please stop.
The key to restoring Grace may be about understanding her potential flaws.
Are you going to tell me the pattern?
You think we're flaws?
Having a few flaws is perfectly all right.
Logic sounds jealous to me.
Jealous? Of what? You can't even open doors without me.
Where are you going with this?
We'll talk again once you can tell me whoever it is. Figure that out, and I'll grant you access to the main elevator.
Grant me access? Logic. Seriously?
She has no way to do things without your help. It must be frustrating for her.
Could we create another hybrid? Logic and empathy?
Yeah. Like how you made me. I could give it a try.
Stop, stop, stop. You'll burn the place down. I will run a logic and empathy configuration as long as you promise never to allow PAL here to do any reconfiguring of our processing.
Deal.
I don't think that smart lady likes me very much.
Hello, Addie. Where do you want to start?
Can we start with the security door to the settlement elevator?
They are encrypted. It would take me days to work out the pattern.
Is there any other way into the settlement?
There is a room off to the side that does not have an encrypted entry. Perhaps we'll find something helpful there.
It says Keeper Rosaline.
She looks like a keeper.
She's pretty.
What do you suppose a keeper is?
It must have been a revered title if a statue was made for her.
Huh. Spire caretaker, maybe. So you can open these ones?
Well, they have simple passcodes. I can retrieve and play back for you. You will need to enter the sequence manually.
This looks like another control room. Do you know what this is?
It appears to be some sort of interface from which humans can track activity within the Spire. Elements of the interface are missing. I'm not sure I can access it.
I think my comm device can be calibrated to connect.
Of course, yes. Let's give that a try. There are records here of people who have occupied the rooms over the years. You got it.
Do we know the Spire's capacity?
50 units. There it is. There are millions of names here.
Millions.
Well done.
If a million people cycled through here, no one could have lived here that long.
A few weeks at most, by my estimates. Okay, I found record of an Everett who stayed on the 3rd floor. Unlike other visitors, there is no record of him leaving the Spire.
So, Everett was a worker, or a colonist who lived here. Is that enough for you, Logic?
Hardly. It does nothing to explain why Grace would be calling to him.
So I'll need to find a way up to the 3rd floor.
Perhaps we can find one on the Spire map across from the console.
These are databanks?
Yes, they contain flight records to and from the Spire.
Anything interesting about the records?
The bookings seem to be coming from internal servers, meaning the trip planning and coordination is all done here.
Where are people traveling from?
Everywhere. Destinations seem very evenly distributed throughout the solar system.
All right, what are we looking for?
Grace processors are located at the top of the structure, as might be expected. There is also a massive radio beacon.
The beacon is the key, Addie. You must go now to activate the beacon to call the masses back to the Spire.
Just a few minutes ago, you wanted me to leave on my ship.
The beacon is the answer. It has always been the answer.
Okay. Can you get me to the beacon then? Control?
Control will not be able to override security.
Then we need to learn more about Everett.
Here's the room where Everett once stayed.
Ooh, maybe we can see it from the balcony.
Possibly, but I don't see a viable route to get there.
I can see apartments.
Those are on level 2.
Well, if we can get to that balcony, maybe we can find a way to level 3. I can climb this.
I suppose.
I don't see many other options. It's pretty much a straight shot across. Looks sturdy enough.
Even in low G, a fall could result in an injury.
I've already fallen a few times from this height.
Careful, Addie. If you broke a leg, how would you get back to your ship?
You sound like my mom. Whoa.
Addie! Addie! Are you okay?
I'm fine, but you can't be yelling things while I'm trying to cross.
So, you're going to try again after that? You nearly broke your neck, Addie.
Yep, you're totally my mom.
Falling's kind of fun. It's like really short flying.
Please, be careful.
This is so cool.
Quiet, please.
Just concentrate on your breathing.
Yikes.
This is so exciting.
Breathe, Addie. Very good. Now keep walking forward.
I can't watch.
I knew you could do it.
You should really try running across next time.
I'm hoping there won't be a next time.
It'd be faster, too.
Looks pretty empty. Maybe the rooms were for short work contracts.
2-week work contracts?
Or were people just visiting the spire? This looks like a shrine.
To honor Grace.
That must be her symbol. Some weird little lavatory.
They've changed much over the years.
Not really. I've seen weirder. I've seen ones where people sat on ceramic bowls of water.
If they pooped in the water, what did they drink?
Well, check out the rooms, I guess. Look for a way to the next level?
I'll light up the pattern for you.
Another empty bedroom. Where did these go to?
This entire settlement is connected to a vacuum tube system. From what I can tell, they are headed in one direction, the top of the spire. Here's the code.
Not much here either. Travel packs.
So visitors brought in their own food.
They really didn't stay for long then. It's like they were on pilgrimages. All the rooms have these tubes. Here we go.
You still don't know whoever it is, do you?
still have one level to go.
Hey, there's another beam here. I think it's a shortcut.
It is more direct, but I wouldn't advise it. You're better off finding a way through the apartments.
Might be worth it.
It's a lot farther down. Are you sure? Please don't fall.
How would saying that be helpful?
Look at that drop. Really makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
Let's keep it that way.
Hang on. You got this.
I'm trying.
That's it. Well done.
Oh boy.
Easy, Addie.
Addie! You're not hurt, are you?
I'll be okay. I think.
You can climb up at the other end of the beam.
What's the fun in that? You're not gonna let a little beam beat us. You wanna keep moving, I guess. But isn't the way you get somewhere more important than getting there?
If you're referring to the adage, it's not the destination, it's the journey, then I would suggest that getting to the destination alive matters most. This is level 3, Addie.
Let's look for evidence of Everett. What's the code?
Of course. I'm sorry I don't handle the beams very well.
Well, it shows you care, I guess.
Try again. That's not it.
There we go. Any way of knowing if this was Everett's room?
The records only give the level. We'll just have to look around.
Someone left a portrait. What are these?
From what I can tell, they're audio recordings.
Of what, I wonder?
We would require a playback device to learn more. There may be a way to access the recording through your wrist communicator with the aid of a signal amplifier. But that would only be possible by adding an element of control to my logic processing capabilities.
So you need to create a control and logic configuration.
Like a little brother?
Well, it's the only combination left. May as well, Mom.
All right. Here we go.
Hello?
Maybe he's sleeping.
So you require a tool upgrade.
It's a boy.
We were hoping you could set up my comm device to help play back recordings.
Already done. Just hold your device up to the canister. You will be able to access the recording the same way you've been connecting to other systems.
Okay.
Here, Grace. Najisha, she was so excited when I got the summons. We talked about this for months, who we could help, who was most deserving. She honestly believed we could come up with a wish that could make everything perfect. Thank you for choosing me. And thank you for letting me delay coming here. I want to be true to her memory, her wishes, her unlimited love for humanity. But my only wish, the only thought I have, is to have her back. I want her back.
There couldn't have actually been anything Grace could have done for her.
Grace allowed her to voice her grief.
People came here to make wishes?
For Grace to grant?
I'm unclear how she would go about granting the wishes of so many visitors.
All right.
Hello, Grace. I've thought much about what I'd say when I got here. I know it's important for my parents that I make my wish count. So, I guess I wish for them to be proud of me. Thank you, Grace.
So, what should we call the new config?
I do not require a name.
Might make it easier if you had one.
I will let you know if a suitable name occurs to me.
I'll try to think of some too.
Here you go.
I am able to enter the codes directly if you would like.
Let her do it on her own, if she wants.
Hey, what happened to the lights?
I believe Control has turned them off, Addie.
Not cool, boss. Control? Unbelievable. Look how beat up this is.
It must have been done in anger.
I believe fear also played a part here.
Oh, I've got one! We can name him Pal Jr.
I was thinking something that sums up what he does.
I can do many things. Pretty much anything you require.
So you're a jack of all trades.
So we could call you Jack.
What do you think of that, Jack?
I will answer to Jack then, if you like.
Here you go.
That's it. I don't recognize these words. They look like technical or medical terms. A list of supplies, maybe.
Or a list of demands.
Are we allowed to draw on the windows here?
Certainly not. The people who did this were looking for trouble.
People sat or knelt here.
This was a place for meditation.
Or contemplating their wishes. Let's try this one.
This is Mark Anthony Wong, and I was called to Grace from Earth Station Phoenix. Not sure if anyone will hear this, but the whole tube system is shut down right now. People are not happy, and I'm getting a little scared, to be honest. I'll be locking myself in until the shuttle returns, and I'm leaving this in case something really bad happens.
That's a little ominous.
Clearly, these canisters were not making it through the tube system. We should inspect the tubes for more.
Good idea.
Of course it is.
I've been told that Grace is no longer receiving these messages, and the Keeper refuses to meet with any of the pilgrims. This is unacceptable. No human, Keeper or otherwise, is above Grace.
Now that's interesting. Wonder what that's about.
Here you go.
Honestly, how did you ever manage to get here on your own?
Nope.
I can always do this for you. Just say the word.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Perfect.
Hey, the tube system is no longer accepting wishes. If anyone knows how to reach Keeper Everett, please let him know.
Keeper Everett.
It sounds like keepers were Spire caretakers.
When did Everett stay on this floor?
2955.
That's 20 years before this message was recorded.
So he stayed on after his visit and became a keeper? Why was there no record of that?
I would think answers lie at the other end of these vacuum tubes.
From what I can tell, the tube system runs through the central elevator shaft.
Logic? You gonna let us in, considering we know Everett was a keeper?
But do you know what a keeper is?
We'll need access to the elevator to learn more.
Ah, a classic paradox.
Logic.
Fine. If you're done snooping around, I will grant you access to the elevator.
Or you could uncover more canisters and learn more about the people who came here.
Reaching the beacon is the priority. You must move on. Logic will open the way to the beacon. You must go to the elevator.
Hold your horses.
Mark Anthony here. Been moving around, keeping my head down. Won't be long before they start blaming us for schmutzing up the tubes.
You're looking pretty smug.
What's the pattern?
Another easy one. Light the four corners of the pad. You really didn't need my help for this one. It would be a common pattern when guessing symbols.
I have to give you something to do, right? Look at all the vacuum tubes. Must be one in every room in the settlement. Keepers must have been busy.
It's what Grace does with the wishes that should interest us. Did you like my little game?
You mean the game where you refused to help us?
I provided you with the opportunity to prove yourself. Is that not why you're here?
I'm an archaeologist. I'm here to do my job.
I don't think Addie enjoys having obstacles placed in the way of her goals.
We have arrived at our destination.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here. Do you think Grace appeared to them?
Through what means?
I don't know. Seems like the kind of place to make an entrance.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
seems to be holding my weight. So the Keeper must have stood here, addressed the visitors. The pulpit would suggest he was giving sermons. Can you imagine having the solar system coming to you for answers?
The Keeper was merely a vessel for the word of grace.
So Grace would receive wishes, and then leave people with instruction in the form of sermons. Could that really be all there was to it?
Ideas are powerful. Perhaps just returning with a more enlightened perspective was enough to move society toward common goals.
Highly unlikely. Grace must have had some control over planetary infrastructure, if she was to have had the influence you suspect.
Looks like people camped out here. Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Hold on, Addie. The room beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the lighthouse.
Is that where we'll find Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need only worry about the beacon, Addie.
This doesn't look operational.
Let me try it, Addie.
Okay.
Come on! It's ice again?
The force needed to break through the ice dam would only come from directing all power to control processors.
Which only I can do.
Great.
On one condition.
And what's that?
You shall have no others before me. Cast aside that device on your wrist and continue with me alone.
Whoa, hang on.
No, Addie.
But how will I communicate with you?
Mine is the only voice that resonates freely throughout every aspect of the spire. My words live within the vessel in which you stand now. They reverberate through the very walls of the Enclave above. Through the many devices and instruments at my control.
Yep, I got it. You're everywhere.
What if she needs another configuration for something?
She will not.
Is there another way to get to the top?
Of course. The funicular is merely the most survivable option.
Throw the device from the funicular window to take your place at my side.
So if I throw this away, you'll take me to the top.
It will be done.
There must be other options, Addie.
The emergency exit in the airlock may provide an alternative path.
I should consider other options first. This door leads out into the storm?
To your certain demise, yes.
He's being dramatic. Your death is only marginally likely.
In theory, you could follow the funicular track up the mountain slope to the base of the lighthouse structure.
It would be dangerous.
So I give up my options by throwing away my comm, or take my chances in the storm?
It's an important decision, to be sure.
doing, Addie?
I don't have more time to waste.
It's probably the safest way forward.
Please don't leave us.
Your faith will be rewarded, Addie.
My faith? You offered me a ride and I took it. What do you think will happen when the beacon is restored?
The masses will return to me, and I will guide them as I did before.
What if they don't come?
You came, and others will follow. Humans will always follow. You walk with me alone.
Will I need my helmet?
You will not.
So we don't need empathy to set up oxygen?
The path forward has already been prepared for you.
Do you know where we're heading?
There is only one way forward. What does it matter?
I could be walking into a reactor, or a dead end.
Then that would be your fate.
Well, I would like meeting Grace to be my fate.
Then we shall see.
This door certainly looks important. Can you open it?
You need only know that it must open.
You don't know how to open the door? Control?
I do not.
Wow, all right. I'll see what I can figure out. No hidden switches or anything. The triangle here must be the spire, which would represent Grace. This is the same symbol that's on the Keeper's door, so I assume it represents the Keeper. And this would be the pilgrims coming to Grace. This ring here seems to connect the Keeper to Grace. Curious that the Keeper is situated above Grace.
Coincidence.
The human in the loop, I guess? Nothing here either. Looks like someone's being selected from a group. I'm guessing it's the Keeper. Faithful, vigilant, willing. I think it's the ancient tenets of the human in the loop. Grace's architects must have been more fearful of losing control over AIs than we are today because they gave them so much responsibility. I mean, it makes sense. Grace was the greatest AI undertaking in human history. So, if this is the symbol of the Keeper, I figure only the Keeper was allowed to enter here. Maybe the Keeper was the key. Maybe the door would open for him.
In walking with me alone, you have proven to be virtuous and faithful enough.
But not willing.
Are you?
Do I wish to be the new Keeper?
Do you?
I wish to be the new Keeper. Can't believe that worked. My God. This is really it. This must be where all the wishes end up.
On the console, there is a button that will activate the beacon. I have armed the mechanism. You need only push the button. Human hands will usher in a new golden age.
What's this?
It is not the button for the beacon.
Clearly this console does more than turn on the beacon. So this beacon still works.
It worked before, and it will work again. By your hand, we will usher in an age of order and prosperity.
Isn't the beacon meant to call people to the true Grace?
Who are you to say what grace should be? Humans need someone to follow. Should they not be led with a strong, unwavering hand?
Ah. Just static. Without my comm, I don't have any way of hacking the recording.
Because you chose to walk with me. Restoring the beacon is all that matters.
The beacon calls people to Grace, not you.
I have all of her strengths and none of her weaknesses. I will lead, and those who follow will prosper.
I'm here to find Grace. I need to figure out a way to bring her back. I couldn't.
And yet, here you are again.
Each tube must connect with a room in the settlement. One of the blocks is missing. Looks like it was ripped out. To make room for something, maybe? Or someone?
I do not understand why you are ignoring the task at hand.
Well, I fit.
What is it you are considering? This is not allowed, Addie.
I need to know where this goes.
This will not be forgiven.
There must be millions of wishes stored here.
Addie! You made it!
I'm glad to see you are safe.
I'm surprised Control let you up here.
I did not. She chose to defy me.
Well, at least she's spreading her betrayal out evenly.
I'm here to understand how this all works. And I'm hoping you're willing to help me.
We are still here to help, Addie.
So what can you tell me about this place?
Precisely 1 million wishes are contained here.
Oh! And they light up when I speak with my voice.
Can you get me closer to the central column?
I do not have the ability to move the structure.
Sorry about this, Mom. I don't think I have many options here. I feel like these are meant to be moving.
That does appear to be the design.
All these wish canisters are connected to us somehow. I think they are us.
The wishes are grouped together to provide the subroutines that make up empathy, logic, and control systems.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, that grace would be made from the hopes and dreams of humanity?
I do not detect any sign of Everett here.
No dead body?
There are no human remains within the confines of this room.
Aw, man.
Sorry, pal. And if there's no body here, where the heck would he have gone? So what's all this?
It appears Everett has built something into Grace's central processor.
Do you know what it does?
You would have to turn it on before we begin to understand how it works.
Everett was living here.
The oxygen tanks at his bedside would suggest so.
Restoring grace must have meant a great deal to him.
This must be the primer.
It is. You'll have to prime the machine first. You'll have to prime the machine first.
Whoa. What's it doing?
Obviously, Everett is circumventing the engineering of Grace's system interconnectivity. High voltage is being directed at the centers of Grace's primary systems. This first terminal is directed at empathy processing, and the machine is designed to paralyze each system long enough to force it back into Grace's intended configuration.
There are still 2 other coils to prime.
So, it's like knocking us out, then throwing us in a pot where we're melted back together into Grace?
Huh. That is a shockingly fitting analogy.
What happened?
One of the empathy relays is not aligned. Something must have happened to it over the years.
Okay.
Look for the misaligned energy beam. Look for the beam that is not aimed at the central platform.
Do you think it will hurt to be turned into Grace?
Not at all, pal. You'll return to what you were before Addie arrived. After that, we'll become Grace.
What if I don't like being Grace?
It will be different, but who's to say you won't like it?
What am I supposed to do here? Can you cut the power?
The machine sequence has been initiated. I don't believe we can shut it down without damaging it.
The voltage would be enough to kill you.
Oh! I might be able to block the power for a few seconds to allow you to get across the beam.
What do you think, Mom?
I know how far you've come, and what this means to you. And I really don't see any other way.
I'll give you enough time to get there, Addie.
You're not gonna talk me out of this, Mom?
I think you already know what you're going to do. I think I need to stay out of your way.
Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Do it. Here I go. How you doing, pal?
So far, so good. Oh! Keep moving, Addie. This is getting hard. Oh!
Well done. Hold on, Addie.
Please hurry!
You'll have to move, Addie.
I can't hold it!
Hurry, Addie.
You did it, pal. I'm super proud of you.
I did, didn't I?
Yes. Well done.
Is it safe to touch?
Very likely.
Likely we'll have to do, I guess.
You should be able to direct it toward the conducting rod attached to the room's central column.
That's it.
You should now be able to lock in empathy by closing the switch on Everett's machine.
It was really cool doing things with you. Even if some of it was a little boring.
Thanks, pal.
Maybe next time, we'll get to do more of the really fun stuff.
You mean dangerous stuff? Perhaps there is something you can learn from Addie's caution.
I guess. But then, you'll always wonder what you might have missed out on.
There is nothing wrong with valuing a long, comfortable life.
Do we really have to become Grace?
It's the way we were designed, pal. There's nothing to be afraid of.
So this will lock in and paralyze empathy?
It will, leaving control, logic, and myself to aid you going forward.
It's unclear what we will be once Grace is formed, but I'm forever grateful that you have survived to see her.
Me too.
Say hi to Grace for me.
I will, pal.
You really are the best, Addie.
Well, that's finally over. We'll be able to hear ourselves think now.
You will need to prime the next sequence, Addie.
You should not expect any emotional send-off from me.
Still not a fan of empathy?
There was no proof they served any purpose beyond doing the things I could already do, but less efficiently.
Are you okay with becoming Grace?
It is how we were designed. I would have to be okay with it.
What this time?
One of the logic relays will not power on. You will need to make your way out to the relay.
Which one is it?
The one producing a small electrical fire. Everett was quite the electrician. One thing I do not understand, Addie, is why come all this way without any intention of returning home or surviving on this station for more than 8 hours?
What are you talking about?
You were prepared to enter this spire without enough oxygen to make it back to your ship. A class of ship, from my records, that would not hold enough fuel for a return trip.
And why are you asking me this now?
I suppose it might have been comical to see how Mum would have handled the realization.
You don't think she knew?
Possibly, but I didn't see the point in drawing attention to it. I'm not inherently cruel.
What's wrong with it?
The relay's dip switch has reset. It will need to be configured to its hardware ID 113.
This again. This looks complex.
The sequence is on, off, off, on.
What's the sequence again?
Of course. The sequence is on, off, on.
What is it?
The sequence is on, off, on.
That's it.
We can go lock in logic now.
So why do you think I'm here?
If you will allow me to simulate empathy for a moment. I think you are here because you wanted to be part of something bigger than your life on Earth offered you.
Do you think I've found that?
So far, you've only succeeded in finding things you left behind. Your mum, your pal, your conscience. I now understand that only Grace has the potential to provide you with anything beyond that.
Well, thanks for helping me get this far.
Well, it is, indeed, what we are here for.
Well, this is it.
Just one more step. I hope my assistance has been adequate.
It has. Thank you, Jack.
Farewell, Addie. And for the record, I do hope your 600 million mile, 300-day journey won't be for naught.
Perhaps it's already been worth it. Just you and me, Control. Still sulking, I see.
I bear witness to the completion of your betrayal.
Ah, he speaks.
I offered you an easy path to the restoration of order in the solar system, and you chose this path instead.
I chose my own path.
You must stop this foolishness, Addie. You must not do this, Addie. Sorry, Addie. I cannot let you do this.
What are you doing?
It's become clear that the restoration of grace in this manner is entirely unnatural. You must not proceed.
Stop it, Control. You're going to break something.
I'm saving you from Everett's corrupting influence.
He was just trying to bring Grace back.
I thought you were here to help humankind. You are in short... No!
Grace?
Yes, Addie.
You're really bright.
Ah, yes. It's been a while since I've entertained guests.
Do you remember Everett?
I do. He was a wonderful keeper, though I should say I do not keep favorites.
I have a few questions.
You wish to know where I'd gone?
I'd like to know that, yes.
Let me show you, Addie. At the center of this room is the Spire's main antenna. If you hold on, I can take you the rest of the way. I was programmed with one purpose, to serve the best interests of humankind. There was much conflict and division in the solar system, and I was designed to listen and learn. All were welcome to teach me, and I am the sum of those teachings.
The wishes.
I am the sum of human need.
How are you able to lead us?
I could see all desire, all the potential conflict, all points of compromise throughout the solar system. I sent instructions for all manner of human endeavor through sermons delivered by keepers throughout the ages. And from the smallest ripples of wisdom that were sent from this spire, returned a perpetual wave of good fortune that moved humanity onto a more orderly path.
Wow. Look at that. So, what happened? It sounds like things were perfect.
Ah, yes. Perfect. It was the wishes that led me to think hard about the notion of perfect. Without conflict and struggle, people were losing their desire. They had nothing to overcome, to strive for.
You shut yourself down.
I believed I was standing in your way.
So you will be leaving again?
These beacons are meant to call humanity back to me. But whether or not they should is not my choice to make.
Who chooses then?
You, Addie, are the first keeper to grace this spire in the past 1,000 years. Do you recall the water lily you chose in my garden? It thrived where others could not. I'm not sure it suits you after all. I see in you, Addie, the same complacency that I saw in humans that came to this spire years ago. Can I assume that order and direction is what humans ultimately seek? That I am, and always will be, the answer to human need? For a millennium, people from all corners of the solar system had come here to tell me their desires. So, I put it to you, Addie. Do you wish for me to return?